Good morning, students. Welcome to the English literature class. I am going to resume my explanation to the chapter Salvatore. Salvatore got into the rowing boat from Naples and rowed ashore. He saw his father and mother standing on a platform built out into the sea, and his two brothers who were big then. He waved at them. Salvatore searched for the girl in the crowd. Everybody was happy to see Salvatore. They exchanged their greetings. He inquired of his mother about the girl. She replied that she doesn't know about her as she did not see her since last 2 weeks. So, when it was evening, when the moon was shining over the calm sea and the lights of Naples twinkled in a distance, Salvatore walked himself to Grand Marina, to the girl's house. She was sitting on the doorsteps with her mother. He was a little shy because he had not seen her for a long time. He asked her whether she had not received the letter that he had written to her to say that he was coming back home. The girl said yes, she did receive the letter, and they are very well aware of the disease he was suffering from. Salvatore was very happy on returning back. He called it a piece of luck. They had even heard that he would never be quite well again. He even said the doctor often talked nonsense. He said as he was home again, he would recover from his illness. For a little while, both the girl and her mother were silent, and then the mother pushed her gently with the elbow. The girl did not even feel pity for Salvatore. She did not try to console Salvatore also, but straight away she told that she could not marry him as he can never be strong enough to work like a man. Girl's father, mother, and she herself had made up their minds that Salvatore and the girl would not get married, and girl's father will never give consent for her marriage. When Salvatore, after meeting the girl, returned home, he found his family knew about the girl's decision, but they didn't had any courage to tell Salvatore about the girl's decision. He wept like a child on his mother's bosom. He was very, very unhappy, but he didn't blame the girl for his unhappiness. He loved the girl very much. Then, a few months later, when he had settled down in his life of a fisherman, he was working in his father's vineyard. His mother told him there was a young woman in the village who was willing to marry him. Her name was Osanta. Salvatore said that she is not at all attractive. She was a bit older than him and was 24 or 25, and she has been engaged to a man while doing his military service, has been killed in Africa. She had little money of her own, that means she must have saved a certain sum of money, and if Salvatore married her, she could buy him a boat of his own, and they could even own a vineyard of their own, as there was a vineyard which was without a tenant at that very moment. so they considered themselves lucky. His mother told him that Osanta had seen him at the festival and had fallen in love with him. Salvatore gave a sweet and innocent smile and said that he would see, he would think about it. Next Sunday, Salvatore, dressed in well fitting clothes, in which he looked so much less well than in his tattered shirt and trousers that he wore every day, he went up to the prayer at the highest place and placed himself, or he sat from where he could have a good look at the young woman. When he came down again, he told his mother that he would marry Osanta. Osanta and Salvatore got married and settled down in a little whitewashed house, which was located in the middle of the handsome vineyard. Salvatore had now become a great big fellow, tall and a bit fat also. He didn't remain thin any longer, but still he had the same smile. He used to trust anyone and was kind to everyone. That was clearly seen in his eyes. His heart didn't change. He was well mannered. Arthur has not seen any other man as Salvatore in his life, while his wife had a face which reflects the feeling of sadness or worry. She had common features. She looked old for her years. That means she looked matured. But the only good quality in her was she had a good heart. But she couldn't be made a fool. She was intelligent enough to take care of herself. The author used to laugh when Osanta used to give Salvatore a smile of devoted wife, while Salvatore took care of her. Osanta never stopped herself from being touched by his gentle sweetness. Osanta always had harsh words for the girl who had left Salvatore. She didn't even think once about the quality he possessed. They were happily married and they had 2 sons. It was a hard life, but they had enough money to live on. All through the fishing season, towards evening, Salvatore went out in his boat with one of his brothers for the fishing grounds. They had to go 7 miles out in the sea to catch the fish. They spent almost the whole night to catch the profitable cuttlefish. They had to row the boat back and come back the same distance again, that too in time in order to catch the early boat to Naples. While if it wasn't the fishing season, he would work in the vineyard from early morning till he could bear the heat and then went to rest. When it was a bit cooler, he used to come back to the vineyard and work till dusk. Often, his disease prevented him from doing anything at all. At that time, he would just lie down on the beach and smoke cigarettes. He didn't speak harsh word for anyone, even if he had pain that made him physically and mentally weak. The foreigners who came down to bathe saw him and said that Italian fishermen were lazy devils. Sometimes he used to bring his children down to give them a bath. The elder one was 3 and younger less than 2. They used to sit with their arms and legs spread wide about at the water's edge, completely without clothes. And Salvatore used to stand on the rock and would dip them into the water. The elder one bore it because he was elder. He had a quality that a person possessed to remain indifferent to pain as well as happiness. The baby, that is the younger one, used to scream with energy. Salvatore had big hands like legs of a mutton, rough and hard from constant hard work. But when he bathed his children, he used to hold them with care and very nicely, tenderly. He dried them up with a delicate care. Arthur felt that they were just like flowers. He would place the naked baby on the palm of his hand and hold him high up, laughing a little at his smallness, and his laugh was like the laughter of an angel. Salvatore's eyes expressed opinions and feelings in an honest and sincere way. The author, in the last paragraph, says that he has started the chapter with "I wondered if I could do it," and now he must tell him what it is that he has tried to do. He wanted to see whether he could hold the reader's attention for a few pages. He wrote about an Italian fisherman who was ordinary but possessed nothing in the world except a quality which is difficult to find in human beings, the most precious and the loveliest that anyone can have. He says only God knows why he should have possessed it. All he knows that the quality shines in him with a warm light. This quality of his has become hardly bearable for the common mankind. He says quality about which he is talking about is goodness and just goodness. So Salvatore was just good, a good human being. Kids, I hope the chapter is quite clear to you. The assignment that you have to do in your literature notebooks is look into Salvatore's life through the author's eyes and discover the goodness of his character that impressed him. Thank you and have a nice